Well, I'm just outside the Dalles, Oregon, at a rest area alongside Interstate 84 and the Columbia River, the mighty roll-on Columbia roll-on, the Columbia River. And if you follow this straight west, it'll take you to Astoria, Oregon, and straight out to the Pacific Ocean. This was quite a discovery back in the days of Lewis and Clark and the expedition that they went on, commissioned by Thomas Jefferson, one of my favorite subjects. But I'm going to pause the video right there because this is real nice. This is just, I don't want it to be too long. Well, good afternoon or good evening. It is Longhaultanker, straight razor shaving with Longhaultanker. And today is Tuesday, the 15th of April, 2025, at approximately 18:45. That's 6:45 Mountain Time. And I'm at the Love's Truck Stop in Sidney, Nebraska, along Interstate 80. And today was a day. I think today's the longest and most number of miles that I have ever driven, 740 miles precisely, ever in a 18-wheel commercial truck. So started this morning in Bliss, Idaho, after leaving the Northwest, the Portland, Vancouver area. After delivery, I was discharged at about 9:45 yesterday morning, went to the Love's Truck Stop at Troutdale, Oregon, did my usual stuff at a truck stop before departing a general area, refills, ice, restroom. The only thing I didn't do is get diesel, which was no problem because I had plenty to get me to where I wanted to get diesel, which was 3 hours away. So there we are. So from Troutdale, or Portland, Vancouver, Troutdale to Bliss, Idaho last night. Got in there about 7:30 last night, and that was about 550, 580 miles. I don't remember exactly. Then from Bliss to here, my intention is to go from here, Sidney, Nebraska, to Guthrie, Oklahoma, maybe a little further if I can stretch it, but certainly, and that's only about a 9-hour drive from what my GPS is telling me. And then Thursday, from Guthrie, Oklahoma, or wherever I stop, a little further, maybe Oklahoma City, maybe Ardmore, Oklahoma, get through Dallas on Thursday, get back to the yard, and get home on Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, because I'm busting my backside to get home because I got a tooth that's bothering me, and more than you got to take care of these things when the problem arises when you're in a truck, because sometimes the problem, like the emergency that I had 3 weeks ago today in Oklahoma City, where I had to call 911 and the ambulance, and it took me to the hospital because of the pain that I was in, and it struck me so suddenly, and it turned out to be kidney stones, and there's more to say about that, but I don't have real good teeth anyway. Half of them are about missing. You may have noticed. And so, no, I can tell there's infection under the tooth. It pulsates. I've known for a long time that it was going to have to come out, and it's giving me just enough trouble that it's got to come out soon, because if I wait any longer, it's going to present a problem that I cannot ignore. And right now, I'm chewing on aspirin, and that's sustaining me till I get. And so I called my dentist this morning. He's got me scheduled for 10 o'clock on Friday morning. Oh, I remember you. I go in there about once a year. Most people go for a teeth cleaning. I always go for which tooth am I going to pull this year. All right, the equipment, I'm still carrying the same 2 razors and the same 2 brushes, and so I'm going to use the Robeson Sure Edge for tonight's razor. Beautiful mahogany plastic, little square point, not quite a 1/2 inch. I don't know what that metric is, just below 11/16 or 9/16, probably 9/16. Anyway, so there's that. Later, for the head shave, we'll use the, I'm wiping the oil off because I didn't do a proper setup. I didn't do a proper stropping because when I got here, I checked to see if there were any showers open, and there were 2. And so I hurriedly gathered my gear together, checked again, still the same 2 were open. And so I grabbed one, I was ready to come in. And so we got the Zenith boar bristle. I don't know, I think this is some kind of aluminum wrap paper. It's not solid aluminum, I do not believe. All right, and then the soap is the Navigator that we've been using on this ship, and this is probably the last usage. I got a nice big donut hole in the bottom, and so it's starting to give out and will be gone soon enough, sad to say. All right. And I love the scent. A nice aquatic, oceanic style. The shout out to Dapper Shaves. Jock had an excellent video. His most recent video we put out, I believe yesterday. I watched it last night. And Greg Gallant, his 2 videos that he had on honing and shaving with, I don't remember the kind of razor that it was. It's a very handsome razor. And a nice little shout out to my usual crew of Eric, the Cajun Blade, Sean Staplefeld, Bill M, and some of the, well, those that I just mentioned, you know, I enjoy staying in touch with them. I think I grabbed too many towels. I slipped back and got another. There was one in the room. I got one from the front desk coming in, and then I didn't realize there was a help yourself tray back here, and I grabbed another one. So I got 3 sets of towels. Nobody cares. except they don't put them in to begin with, which maybe they should. Who wants to sit on a cold, hard bench with no towel underneath your bottom? All right, here we go. I've got approximately 60 hours, 2.5 days. Today's Tuesday, as 6:45. My last shave was on Sunday morning at about 8:30. 8:30. So it was a nice, fun drive today. I knew I was going to have wide open spaces from Bliss, Idaho, through eastern Idaho, coming down into Utah, Ogden, Brigham City. Those are my only real obstacles today. And I flew at about 80 miles an hour almost all the way. And I left 17 minutes on my 11-hour drive clock today. I had beautiful weather, sunshine. It was cold this morning. It was in the low 30s in Bliss, Idaho. So I already have my next assignment loading on next Monday. I'll get home on Friday, or on Thursday rather, go to the dentist on Friday, home on Saturday, home on Wednesday morning, and depending upon where the trailer's being loaded and how much work I've got to do. I may likely go down on Sunday late afternoon, get the truck ready for loading. Nice and quiet out in the hallway. No loud music, so I'm doubtful that I'll get one of those odious, obnoxious, villainous copyright violations. Okay, I think that's, well, all right. That's about it on the face shave. Let's move on. The water's not as hot as I would like. It's okay, but it's certainly not scalding, and it's certainly not very hot. But it's got some heat on it, but you know, not enough. Now this truck stop here at Sydney is one of my favorite. Used to stop here all the time when I had Calgary runs, which this new company does not go to Canada, so I've not had occasion since I started working with this new company well, I take that back. In December, I did go to Portland again, on my first load to Portland for this new company, and that was okay. I stopped here. Now I didn't stop here on the way up. Because that first night out, I got so far into Kansas. And so when I left there, I made it all the way to Laramie, Wyoming, and so did not. And I thought about stopping there, Laramie, Wyoming, on my way back. I did stop in there for a break and bought some fuel, diesel, but not to spend the night.
This little head shaver is a George Woostonholm that was given to me by a former shop manager, and he had two of them. If you've watched me for very long, and you've heard me tell this story, but he had two razors like this. One had ivory scales on it, and I cleaned it up for him. And he gave me this one. The scales on it were horn and badly chewed up. Both of them, of course, were identical, both of them, except for the ivory scales, of course. And I just used wet dry sandpaper to clean them up. And he wasn't going to use it as a shaver, but I went ahead and honed it up on a Shapton Glass Progression 30,000. And I had Matt Lukey 3262 on YouTube put these replacement scales on, and I got to tighten it up. It's awful floppy, but other than that, they're very. It's good. It's good. I love this as a head shaver. All right. Ozma, alum block. Oh, there's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing. I don't get a shave like that very often. I always have a little nick or shave a little close somewhere and get some weepers going, and it'll sting. There is no sting whatsoever. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse all that off.
and I'll put some aftershave on when I get out to the truck. I don't know, I got some lime, I got some ice, blue ice, I got some Old Spice. What else do I got? Some eucalyptus stuff. Okay, that's it. Thank you for joining me. And my next shave will probably be from home Saturday or Sunday after I have my tooth extracted. And we'll see how I'm gonna feel, but I gotta make the next load. So have a good night. We'll see you later. Down the road, see you down the road.